Oh, I'm so stressed. It's fine. Hi everyone, it's Aislinn. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just going to talk about a book I just read that I loved and wanted to kind of just discuss it because no one I know has read it yet um, and loved it as much as I did. So the book that I'm raving about, I guess it's not really a surprise because it would be in the title of the video, but it's Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. I don't actually have a physical copy, which is really upsetting. I'm gonna buy one. So I read most of this yesterday. I got it as an ebook through Libby, which is why I don't have a physical copy. I don't have my Kindle that I could hold up. So, because my hold expired today, so it's gone. And I honestly read a little bit of it a few days ago. And then yesterday, because I had my train commute, I pretty much read all of it. I was at like 20, I think I was at 28% when I left for class. And by the time I got home, I literally had I was at like 92% or something. So I read most of it all yesterday and it was so good. It's Elizabeth Lim has written a few other books. She's written the Mulan retelling. That's like specific, but it's like what if Mulan had to go to the underworld. I have that on my list, like to be read list now, because I'm really interested because I liked her writing style. And Spin the Dawn, if you don't know the synopsis, they basically marketed it as like Project Runway meets Mulan in this whatever fantasy retelling or story. And like that's kind of accurate, but like not. Mostly because I would say it doesn't really do the book justice because it sounds like it's so the way the synopsis sets it up makes it sound like the whole book is about this competition against like 12 or 11 other tailors to become the imperial tailor for Emperor Kanujin. I think that's what his name was. And like that's what you expect. Like the whole book's gonna be about this trial and like having to hide herself as a boy and like all this stuff. And then it's like that's like the first third of the book. And then you find out because if you read the rest of the synopsis, you find out that Maya, the main character, that we get like we follow her perspective and her story, has to go on this fucking ridiculous quest to basically weave these three magical dresses from like one of the big myths or religious stories of Alandi that are like with the laughter of the sun, the tears of the moon, and the blood of the stars. And that's like majority of the book, like her going on the quest, blah 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 blah, all that stuff. All that stuff happens. So it's like, but you also think that other people have to do it, but it's just her. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. I don't really think it is because that's like the main thing. So I feel like it wasn't really what I was expecting when I went into the book. I thought it was just about the tailors and like all that stuff. Like I had remember reading the dresses part, but that was not the main storyline. So it's like basically the book follows Mai, and honestly the only most similar part to it is that like to Mulan, sorry, is that she has to disguise herself as a boy to like go into the competition because obviously it is based on like Chinese myth, like the Chinese myth of Mulan, but as well as like Chinese folklore and like some other East Asian ones from what I've read. I haven't done my research quite yet. With the traditional story of Mulan, obviously it's like because she was a soldier, women could go and fight in the war and all that stuff. So it's like same idea, but like women can't become tailors and all that fun jazz. Which is really not fun. And then, so she hides as a boy, like to go and like goes as her brother, but she also goes in place of her father's. Like they come to like request her father to come, and he's pretty old now. He's like not very well, still really riddled with grief over his wife, and obviously like doesn't have like if he goes, he will probably die just because he like can't make the journey and stuff, and Mai is like, I know I could do this. I'm the best tailor. I know what's up. And she goes. And then that's really the only similarities to Mulan, at least from what I know. I don't know the original myth of Mulan very well, or I guess the original story, so I'd have to do my research into that too. But I don't know how much the Project One Way part was. It was interesting with like the competition, but I really liked the quest more. But maybe that's because I like quest journeys and like quest storylines. So this book is definitely more character driven than plot driven. Even though I was just talking about the plot and how the story is different, I'm obviously not going to spoil it because like there's all that stuff that happens other than like she goes on this quest. I don't know. I'm going to go with it's not a spoiler to say that she goes on the quest with Eden, who is mentioned in the synopsis. Because I feel like you could kind of interpret that from the way the story is written along, like in the beginning. But it is like definitely more character driven with like Maya's character, Eden's character, their relationship, their dynamic, her dynamic with her family that comes into play, as well as with like the culture as a whole and like her beliefs. So it's definitely, if you're not like if you prefer like plot driven books over character driven books, then you may not enjoy this as much. But I kind of tend between both. I find it depends on how it's written. Elizabeth Lim's writing was really good, so I think it really added to the characters, and there was a lot of growth for both of them that you see along the journey. And even for other characters, like there's stuff that I did not expect to happen from certain characters that I was like surprised by. So that's good. And another thing about the plot, I remember seeing someone comment about how the whole book wouldn't happen, and it's like mentioned in the book multiple times how if Lady, oh my god, what's her name? Lady Shadri. I like am terrible with remembering characters' names. I'm not gonna lie, but basically, like she's the one that set up to marry Emperor Kanujin, and she's the reason why Maya has to go on this quest to make these dresses, because she's like, I want these 3 dresses for my wedding, and then I'm gonna choose the one that's the best. You have to go get them. And I saw someone comment how like, if she literally didn't do that, the whole book wouldn't happen, and it's so pointless and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, but if you also think about it, if you look at Indiana Jones, one of the like most iconic film series of all time, at least in like the Western world, if Indiana Jones hadn't been there, all that shit would have happened anyway. So like, and we still love that. So let me love, calm down. Let me love Spin the Dawn, okay? It's good. It's character driven. Same with Indy. We love Indy because he's character driven. Indiana Jones, Spin the Dawn. Both character driven plots. Both may not matter to the plot, or both have similar things of like, Indiana Jones didn't exist. Everything would still happen. If this one character just didn't care about her wedding, that's political, it wouldn't happen. But like, to me, that's still valid, because like, if you don't, apparently she was betrothed to this other guy before, and then because there was the war, her dad was like, okay, you're marrying the emperor now because we need to make an alliance because this war needs to end. And she's like, fuck this shit, I hate this, I want to find a way out of it. I wouldn't blame her for being like, go make me these dresses to postpone my wedding because I'm not happy. Like, I don't know. It makes sense to me in the plot, so whatever. But then as well, back to the characters. So obviously it mainly follows Mai and Eden. I hope I'm saying those right. Mai, I really liked her. She was a really good narrator. It was really sweet to follow her story. Obviously, the first couple chapters is a kind of an info dump in the sense that it's like her family history and like all the stuff that's like relevant leading up to the point when the guy comes from the palace to like recruit her dad to like come for the contest of the Imperial Tailor. It's not tough to get through, but like you're like, oh, okay, like this is a lot of information at once, but like it's all relevant. So it's like you get that from her perspective. She just loves her brothers and her baba so much, and she misses her mom, and it's just really heartfelt. And she goes through this really huge growth through the book as well. Another comment of people like, reading negative reviews for books that you love is just really disheartening, because I remember someone else saying on Goodreads how she's not a strong character because Eden has to rescue her all the time and like all this other stuff. And I'm like, I addressed this in my Goodreads review. Okay, just because someone's not physically strong and can't like physically rescue themselves, like doesn't mean they're not a strong person or a strong character. And I feel like it's really, I don't want to say ignorant, but like a little naive, I guess, to like read strength as just a physical trait and a physical attribute when it's definitely not, and might not be physically strong, and okay, maybe she does need to be rescued a couple times, but she does help and she does do other things. And I don't think she was written as like a damsel in distress at all, with the way the situations play out and the way that Eden treats her. I think it really is still respectful and doesn't come off in that way. And honestly, Mai's growth throughout the book is definitely more of one, like not becomes strong, but like she unleashes her inner strength, and like through her mind and her soul, and like having to endure certain things and go through like kind of these trials and tribulations throughout the story that like really test more her willpower, her trust, honesty, like just all that kind of stuff, like more on the emotional, mental side. So she definitely like changes that way. And that's really more where a lot of her growth comes from. And as I said, I just don't like the fact that people are like, because she's not physically strong, like she's not a good character, there wasn't character development. It's like, that's not the, or because she had to be rescued, it's like, that's not the point of the book or the point of her story. And as I said, with Eden, man of my heart, love him. The way that he like treats Mai is like so respectfully and well done. And obviously there are moments of tension and like moments of angst, but there are moments where, but it's done well enough and like in a non-problematic way, in my opinion, that she obviously still knows that she's strong. And some of the choices she has to make are like super tough. Like, I don't know if I could make those choices if I was in her situation, because it's like super difficult. So she's strong as hell. We love Mai. And Eden is just, okay, you know what? I love me a prickly / hard shell on the outside, cocky-ish man and boy, like when you read like teenage stories, that is super soft on the inside for his love. And that's what he is. I was reading this book when I got off the train. I was literally wanted to scream. I was just so stressed because the tension was so high for like so much stuff, and I don't know why I'm still holding this. The tension was so high and there was so much at stake, and I just want them to be happy, and I just want Mai to be happy, and it's just a lot. So I got off the train. I literally got in my car yesterday and I just like screamed. Like I was just like, not like screamed, but like yelled. I was just like, like really loud because no one could hear me. And I can't do that on the train. People would think I'm losing my marbles, I guess. I don't know. But it's just so good. I don't know. I really liked it. Also, the world building was really well done. I know that could be subjective, but like I thought it was well done because there was mention of other languages, other lands. And I really liked how Lim just throws you in. That was something that I also really liked about The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, was that she just kind of like tossed you in there. She didn't really give like a lot of context for things. You just kind of learned as you go. And I love that, like learning about Alandi and like the other nations, countries around it, and just learning about their traditions and beliefs and customs and the environment and all that stuff, like as you go, but like in a more natural way with like them talking about stuff. So it was really nice to have that as a factor. I know some people don't like that and they want to have like a lot of it built up at the beginning, but for me, I really like kind of learning with the characters, especially because Mai was learning about some of the different areas of Alandi that she like hadn't been to, so that was really neat to learn with her. And it was just really well thought out, and it was really cool. Like obviously it's a mythical land, and because there's like magic and it's like made up countries and nations and all that stuff, but it was really well done, and it really felt immersive, and I could like picture all the environments, like where they were going. And also it has a map at the beginning, obviously, which is really helpful. I only had to go back and look at it once to like check. I'm still holding this is terrible, to go back and check where like one thing was, or like when they're going on their quest, like where they're going, they obviously mention it. So I was like, oh, where is that all in comparison to each other on the map? And I was like, holy shit, that's really fucking far away. So it was just, I gave the book 5 out of 5 stars. I guess I should have said that at the beginning, but like for me, it was good. Also, not to spoil my end of the year probably top books. It was definitely one of the top books. Honestly, one of my top books ever, I think. I love this. I could definitely reread this multiple times and still get a lot out of it and enjoy it. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a duology, so the second one... Oh, I'm so sad. The second one doesn't come out till July. And it's called Unravel the Dusk. And it looks hella good. And the synopsis already has me hella stressed, which is fine. I love it. I'm like, I'm like trying to imagine, like just reading the synopsis. I'm like thinking about it in my head. Obviously, I'm not gonna like reiterate it because spoilers, but like, there's so much that could go wrong. And knowing it, it's probably gonna go wrong, and I'm gonna cry, and I'm gonna cry thinking about it right now. But like, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I love it. Oh, also, forgot to mention, on a happier note, with Eden, why do I keep picking that up? Definitely 100% chaotic, bisexual energy. We love him. I feel like there are queer characters, even though it's not explicitly stated, but I inferred it that way because of some of the stuff they say, where it's like, Mai's disguised as a boy and all the stuff. I'm like, you would still date her if she was a boy. I know you. I know it. So, just saying, we love that chaotic bisexual energy. We love him. We love Mai. It's fine. Everything's... Sorry, I'm just like still thinking about the sequel. I'm just like still really upset. Oh, it's gonna go so well. It's so bad. Oh, I'm so stressed. It's fine. Just read Spin the Dawn. Definitely one of my top fantasies ever. As I said, definitely probably one of my favorite books ever. So maybe read it. If you didn't think you'd like it, you might have some different expectations. Obviously, if you read it and you hate it, don't blame me. We all have preferences. We all have different likes and dislikes. If you don't like this book, I'll just be really sad. But I'll understand. I'll understand. So, if you've read Spin the Dawn, let me know. I am needing someone to talk about it with because I'm sad that I don't have anyone to talk about it with. So let me know in the comments if you've read it, or you can message me on Twitter or on Goodreads or whatever. Just let me know if you've read it and you loved it, because I want to talk about it. It's fine. Everything is fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, so thanks for watching this rant / review, I guess. It is kind of like a book review because I'm talking about it. Hopefully it was spoiler free. I don't know what some people consider spoilers and what some don't. So I tried my best. Obviously, that's why I didn't really go into the plot, other than like how it's a little different than what you expect and like what they tell you. Also, I would also just like to comment that it does say in the synopsis, like, perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas and Renee Ahdieh. So it's like, Renee Ahdieh, yes, agree. Sarah J. Maas, I'm sorry. She got nothing on this. Okay? I mean, I may feel differently when I read Unravel the Dusk depending on what happens, but I trust Elizabeth Lim to not make any bad character choices, and their actions and decisions, like a certain someone. Read Spin the Dawn. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let's just rant about books together, I guess. I don't know. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!